We are rolling into week 11, and we got another handcuffed running back stash battle. Another lottery ticket battle at the running back position. We're going to be looking at Jaylen Wright and Ray Davis. Let me know who you prefer in the comment section below. Everybody wants to hear about it so they can make their decisions. But we're going to deep dive the advanced metrics in their situations right now. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing these deep dives every day. We're going deep on the players who are trending off the waiver wire, climbing depth charts. There's lottery ticket running backs who are just waiting for them to get their opportunity. Somebody is going to get an opportunity by the end of the season. We don't know who, so we keep playing musical chairs right now. On top of that, we're going to go deep on the waiver wire. Click that button, stop missing out. But going into this today, we got Ray Davis. We got Jaylen Wright. Ray Davis is already scoring fantasy points. That might be the answer for you right now. In the video, cut it off. That might be the answer for you right now. Because he's already scoring fantasy points alongside James Cook. You saw what he can do with James Cook. Jaylen Wright, though. The story behind him, though. We got elite burst, elite speed. We're starting to cut into Mostert's work. We're getting into the back end of the season. We're starting to get more work, more opportunity. Our yards per carry is getting nasty. We're starting to be demanding on the field where you can't deny him. We're starting to get some opportunities, and all it takes is one injury, or we get to the back end into the fantasy playoffs where they just let him go so they can see what's happening for 2025. That could potentially happen, and if that happens, that could wreck shop in your league when it comes to those lineups in the championship weeks for fantasy football. But we're going back looking at Ray Davis. And I think a lot of people misdirected their prospect profile evaluation on Ray Davis because this is one of the few running backs ever in college football to have 1,000 yards from scrimmage with 3 different collegiate programs. We go off and get excited whenever a player has 2. This guy has 3. And you watch him play at the college level, shit, you watch him at the Bills, this guy's running good up the gut. Catching the ball in the backfield, and he can hammer you in pass protection. The reason why our season started off a little bit slow, we had a little bit of fumbleitis in training camp. Coaches noted that. But we eventually earned some trust, and we're getting more on the field. You look at the yards after contact per attempt here, over 3 with every team, and that's 3 teams. Productive with 3 teams, looking good with 3 teams, solid with 3 teams, and now we're looking at Jaylen Wright. Short stint at Tennessee. We only needed 3 years to prove our worth. That is something to look at when we're looking at running backs. We're a younger running back prospect. We had good size, adjusted athleticism, 1,000 yards in the SEC, 4 touchdowns. Not much work in the passing game. That is something you're looking at and you don't like. Yards after contact per attempt, good at the SEC level. Still able to get it done. We're a rocket back there. 82 yards longest run. 83 yards longest run the year prior. A good profile here. Good profile. We only need 3 years to improve our worth for the NFL level. He did that. Did not need multiple years, multiple schools. We just get out there, we get it done, and we get to work. Now we're looking at their prospect profiles, and they're drafted right around the same time. Right around the same time. Similar value when it comes to draft construction there. And then you look at what they did at the combine. Totally different. We got size adjusted athleticism for days with Jaylen Wright with 4.38 speed, burst score. Ray Davis is different though. Jaylen Wright can't do some of the things Ray Davis does. He cannot pass block like Ray Davis. He's not as good running up the gut, finding the lane, being patient, having the vision as Ray Davis. He's not as stout as Ray Davis. He's not as assertive finishing his runs like Ray Davis. Ray Davis has some things in his prospect profile. It's not just the numbers. Ray Davis is a stout runner. He's a good running back. He does not have one trait in his game that's elite, that's gangbusters. However, for fantasy football, you really don't need that. You don't need that. But the fact that he can get on the field quickly, the fact that he has those traits in his game that will get him on the field, like pass blocking, being dependable, is good. Jaylen Wright, you see the comparable to Miles Sanders. That's based on what he can do on the spreadsheets off the numbers. And you see that when stretching out runs, finding the hole, his patience, all that stuff resembles that. He's faster, more explosive. He's got some Keaton Mitchell on him. On any given run, he can get you 10 fantasy points. He can score from anywhere on the field. And he's on the Dolphins, where this team is built for a track meet every game. They're built to push it in the run game. They're built to push it in the passing game with elite speed. He fits in this offense with Devin Achane about perfectly. Both of those guys, elite speed, elite burst, and it's tough for defenses to account for both those running backs. You're looking at Devin Achane, 4.32 speed. We got speed to burn. We can be used all over the field. We've been lights out all year long. We're good in the passing game. If he goes down, Jaylen Wright with Tua back is going to be exceptional for fantasy football. Everybody's going to at least want him for fantasy football. James Cook, we've already seen it. If Cook is out, everybody's going to want Ray Davis. Everybody's going to wish they had Ray Davis. Ray Davis really should be rostered in all leagues, but he's not. He's probably rostered in yours. But James Cook, if he goes down, we already know we want Ray Davis. We've already seen it. We're just going to hope it happens again. But we know with that opportunity, Ray Davis can be good on the football field. That might be the selling point for you, but I'm just going over all the information here. James Cook is getting a lot of the workload. Same with Ty Johnson, but Ray Davis is getting the touches over Ty Johnson because Ray Davis is just in a different role. Ray Davis is the grinder. He's the guy that you're going to depend on for the short yardage work, pretty much most of the work, keeping the football, grinding out the tough yards. James Cook, if he goes down, most of that work, most of those snaps are going to go to Ray Davis. We have a one-game sample of that, but Ray Davis is getting that work on the field where he's getting those opportunities. He's also getting some work in the passing game, not much to what we like, but he's so dependable as a runner. That is what you want out of this fantasy football prospect. But we look at Ray Davis here, and we're a handcuff plus. That's why you want him, and a lot of you guys are going to want him over Jaylen Wright because of that. But James Cook has been good in his own right. And if he's out for a considerable amount of time at the back end of the season, Ray Davis is probably going to give you a decent reflection of this. Might be scaled back a little bit due to less work in the passing game, less volume into that, different types of running backs. But still, he's going to give you some version. Maybe it's 13 points per game, 12.5 points per game or something like that. But he's going to give you those up and downs, and his downs ain't going to be really that bad for you. James Cook, 576 yards on the season, 268 yards for Ray Davis. Both of them over 4 yards per carry. Both of them efficient in this offense. Both of them looking good. Something happens to James Cook, Ray Davis is the guy. However, the routes ran in this offense is what you're scared about because catching the ball out of the backfield gives you that floor in fantasy football. Ray Davis will not have as much a floor. It will be tuned up more if Cook goes out. Ty Johnson will work into some degree if Cook is out in the passing department. However, Ray Davis, you're starting him. He's good to go. You're not going to worry about that too much. You just know that's in the profile. You're looking at the Dolphins here. Devin Achane, 4.4 yards per carry, 105 carries on the year. He's getting most of the work. Raheem Mostert, 3.9 yards per carry on the season. Losing some work last week to Jaylen Wright. Jaylen Wright's got a lot of upside, 4.5 yards per carry. And there's some games where he's pushing 10 yards per carry because he's a pop gun running back. Any carry, he can house it, and he's breaking off chunks on runs, and he's giving you that upside. You're also looking at the snaps here. Jaylen Wright's snap share starting to increase. We started the season off very slow. Raheem Mostert had some injuries. However, Jaylen Wright is starting to catch up a little bit game by game, getting that workload and opportunity. Devin Achane's going to keep his work. But again, they like to use two running backs. They like to flip him in and out. Jaylen Wright might be getting flipped in here soon. When you're looking at that, Devin Achane's been good, but has been up and down. But the Dolphins did not have Tua most of the time. So that being said, we're back, baby, with the Dolphins getting fantasy production. We're really waiting for Tyreek Hill to get his hand in order. But still, we're back. And if Wright gets that opportunity, we could be seeing something out of him. Again, the routes ran, the workload in the passing game, something to question. I'm going to be using Devin Achane more in the passing game anyways, but honestly, that's not Jaylen Wright's game. His game is getting space and eating it like a pit bull puppy eating the cushions of your couch. That's what Jaylen Wright is. He's a home run threat. He's a home run hitter, so he's either going to give you all this or some of this. You may go the other way with Ray Davis due to that, and some of you may be chasing that for the upside in some of your matchups in the playoffs just in case because you want that lottery ticket. But I went Ray Davis. I think you could kind of tell because I'm already getting the production. I can use him in a pinch right now. I like that. Jaylen Wright's upside, though, when given more workload, it's something I want on my team if I got the roster space for the fantasy playoffs. Because if that happens, all it takes is 1 or 2 runs. I don't think the matchup really matters that much because it just needs the space, that 1 or 2 opportunities for him to go off. He's sharing the workload, but we got that 4.3 speed. He's a home run hitter. I also don't want anybody else having that in their lineup when it comes for the fantasy playoffs because it's not going to be a guaranteed thing. It's just going to be a shotgun up your fantasy scoring type of thing that you can't predict when that does happen. So might as well have him benched if he starts seeing more opportunity because there could be games where he does nothing. Then all of a sudden, when you need it to not happen, it happens. Maybe that's why you want to do it. But I am going Ray Davis over him. Jaylen Wright, though, the upside's immense. It is immense. It could be league winning for a 2-game stretch, even against some nasty matchups, even with him only getting 10 touches a game because all he needs is 1 or 2, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.